I'm Timisha from ToolBox Divas, and welcome to Yours to Make, presented by Dickies. For today's tutorial, we're gonna make a cutting board. So I am a new mom, and I have very little time these days to spend in my workshop, which means that I don't have a whole lot of time to work on a lot of big projects. So I find myself utilizing the time that I do have when my daughter's taking a nap. And I call it my nap time DIY. So we're gonna be doing smaller projects that don't require a whole lot of time. All right, let's get started. So I have all of these boards that I have left over from a previous cutting board class that I had. And we're gonna use it to do our glue up, and we're gonna try and come up with a different pattern. So for this project, you don't actually need a table saw or a jointer to cut up all the pieces that you need, because you can actually purchase a cutting board kit on Amazon or online somewhere, and you can just take all the parts and you can assemble everything at home. So you can really make a cutting board out of any type of wood. But for a cutting board, I highly recommend using some sort of hardwood, like a maple or a walnut or a cherry. So I really like the symmetry of this design. I like the walnut and how it borders everything and encloses everything in. Now, let's go ahead and glue this up. For the glue, we're gonna be using parallel clamps. So for this, you wanna use water resistant or waterproof glue. And you don't wanna skimp with any of the glue. You wanna apply it on thick. And this will get messy. So that's okay, because we're gonna clean it all up. My love for woodworking dates back to when I was a kid, running around watching my uncles make different projects in shop class and bring it home. And me, I always wanted to get involved. However, I was a kid and my uncles would say stuff like, no, 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 you can't do this, this is dangerous. So when I got the opportunity as I got older, I started taking woodworking classes. And in my free time, I started just making things. I started off with simple things. I started off with a little side table. Then from there, I just started doing bigger and bigger projects. And before you knew it, well, I was renovating rooms. Okay, so now we're going to tighten it all. Make sure that everything is as nice and even as possible. Now we're gonna take some water and a rag, and we're gonna wipe off the excess glue. So you also want to have another clamp over top so that you can keep your cutting board nice and flat. And don't forget to clean up some of the glue that's seeping through at the bottom of the glue up. So for this project, it really doesn't take that long. The longest part is actually waiting for the glue to dry, because you have to wait 24 hours for the glue to set before you can really agitate it, sand it, plane it, whatever you're gonna do. So for now, we're gonna let this sit for 24 hours, and then we're gonna sand it down and cut it to size. Stay tuned. Okay, so now it's been 24 hours, so now we're gonna take off everything and we're gonna finish this up. Remove the clamps. You may find that the glue comes off a little easier with an X-Acto knife and a scraper. So now that we've cut off the two ends of the cutting board, now we're going to actually sand it all down and make it all really smooth. I want to be able to hang this up when I'm done, so before I move any further, I'm going to drill a hole in the top so that I can hang it up. Now I'm going to sand in the little hole of the cutting board, and I find that the easiest way to sand into the hole is by taking a wooden dowel and wrapping some sandpaper around the dowel. You want to make sure that the wooden dowel is slightly smaller than the diameter of the hole. So before I finish sanding the cutting board, now I'm going to apply some water to raise the grain on the cutting board. Now the part that everyone loves, applying mineral oil to the cutting board. Now I'm going to finish it off with some wax. Alright guys, I hope I'm able to inspire you, even if you have very limited time, to get out there and get your hands dirty and make something. I'm Timisha from ToolBox Divas. Thanks for joining us. See you next time on Yours to Make.